So you don't know what the budget is and means, but you don't want to look like a thicky money dum-dum in front of all your mates. Then I've got you covered. Here's everything you need to know about the complicated little bastard. Every year, the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, has to tell us what she's spending our money on, but the only problem is there's not enough of it. Now, there hasn't been enough of it for fucking years now, which means that governments have previously had to borrow money, who from no one fucking knows. But for reasons that literally nobody understands, Rachel Reeves has decided to play Chancellor on difficulty level impossible by inventing her own rules. Fiscal rules that don't allow her to borrow any money.
We will continue to meet the fiscal rules that I set out in my budget last year.
The only problem with that is that the UK economy is poo-poo and there's literally a fucking lunatic in the White House who makes the world economy more unstable than you after a 3-day bender. So if she's not allowed to borrow money and the economy's covered in poo-poo, then the only thing she can do is raise more money in taxes, but she said she wouldn't do that because don't forget, difficulty level impossible.
Labour will not be putting up taxes.
So Rachel's had to raise most of her money by being sneaky bang. Here are some of the main bitty bot bits. Now Rachie says this budget is mainly raising money from the top 10% of earners, but the only problem is she's kind of gamed the system to make many people accidentally part of that 10%. That's because she's frozen tax thresholds. Stay with me. The threshold that matters is the one that begins at £50,271. Any money you earn after this amount, ooh, look at you, is taxed at 40%. Freezing the threshold means anyone whose salary is currently below that, but whose salary rises with inflation, might accidentally end up in the 40%. Boom, you've been sneaky bang banged. Rachel's also slapped a higher council tax on you if your home's worth more than £2 million, or you'll have plenty of space for our tiny violins in that gaff. She's raised the living and minimum wage, which is great news for many people, but some businesses say they might not be able to afford it and so might employ fewer people. Oh no. She's frozen rail fares, which means you'll get to continue to sell one kidney instead of two to get from Manchester to Crewe. Gambling companies have to pay more tax, but not if they're a horsey one. But the biggest and best thing in the budget is lifting the two-child benefit cap, which will directly take 450,000 children out of poverty. Hooray. Now, there are plenty more bitty bot bits around salary sacrifices and electric cars, but I'm worried if I continue any longer, you'll get bored. So to conclude, Rachie says this is a budget for working people and millionaires and billionaires, given there's no plans in the budget to tax them any more than the rest of us, despite the vast majority of millionaires in the UK saying they'd happily pay more.